Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome in. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. Thank you, Erica, for your help on the last live. I appreciate you. Today, we're going to dive into feminine wealth. And this idea really came up for me because I was doing a live last week where I was talking about career transitions. So, the messy middle of career transitions. Hello, let me know that you can see me and that you can hear me as I get started and jump into this juicy live. So, when I was doing that live last week, someone had mentioned that I said something really interesting. And I guess I was talking about wealth and specifically mentioned that money is so much more than wealth. And so I thought to myself, I should do a video about that. And so here we are doing a video about that. Let me take a quick peek just to make sure the audio is working so you might hear me. Perfect. It's working. It works just great. Hi, Erica. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Yeah, so let's dive right in. During that live, I was just like, someone brought it up that I spoke a little bit about wealth and how it's so much more than money. And I'm like, let's do a video about that. Let's talk about it. It's so important. When I think about wealth, many times I feel like the first thing that we have learned to associate wealth with is money. But wealth is about so much more than that. There are so many facets to wealth, and isn't that more exciting? To me, I want the creation of wealth to be fun. I want it to be an enticing adventure. But if it's only about money, then isn't that a little sad? That's kind of sad. Um, that kind of means that there isn't much more to life than just like being on this hamster wheel, continuously trying to accumulate more and more cash. And I mean, if any of us know how to make money, then it's kind of like, okay, is this it? Is there more to life? There has to be more to life. So we have all heard the maxims health is wealth and your network is your net worth. And what this tells me is that there is a little bit of insight in the general consciousness that wealth is about so much more than money. But I don't think it's very present in our life every time we think about wealth, that there are various facets. So today I want to talk about what those various facets are and dive into it a little bit. When I personally think of wealth, I think about lifestyle. I think about how you live. Who do you have in your life? What do you do with your time? How are you spending your precious energy, your precious hours? What are you pouring your life force energy into? And of course, money is a part of that because in my perspective, wealth is an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem of all of those things that I mentioned, the relationships that you have, the community that you build, the work that you do in your daily life, the life purpose that you have, the glowing skin that you have, the wardrobe, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you smile, the energy, how you walk into a room, all of that is an ecosystem where they feed into each other, because the way you look and the way you present yourself shows up in how your relationships are, and vice versa. The better your relationships are, the more calmness and happiness you show up with to other areas of your life, including your work, including your business, so that you bring an energy of abundance into the things that you are doing. And that generates more money. So you see how it's a symbiotic relationship between all of these aspects. So in this live, we are going to talk about 5 different aspects of divine feminine wealth that I personally have identified for myself. But what I really want for you to take away from this video is an understanding of what wealth is for you, because there's nothing more powerful than you being able to define what wealth and success looks like for your life. There's nothing more powerful than having the reins of the definitions of these things in your hands rather than in society's hands. Because if we leave our life path to up to society, then we lose control of ourselves, we lose control of our authenticity, we lose control of our life purpose. So, the purpose of this video is to really widen the concept of wealth for you and help you define what wealth and success looks like for you. So, give this video a like if you are excited to build wealth in a way that is tantalizing, especially if you want the algorithm to suggest more videos like this, whether it's from me or from other creators across YouTube, because we all know that we can influence what the algorithm presents to us in our news feeds based on like the things that we like. So give this video a like. And before we jump in, I have had quite a bit of new subscribers recently. And so for those of you who are new here, I am Eileen. And one of my greatest joys in life have been crafting a career that is uniquely mine. So for the past 15 years, my career has been an adventurous exploration with consistent growth and learning towards my personal North Star and life mission. So this has led me to some of the most valuable companies in the world, essentially, like Google, LinkedIn, and most recently, Spotify. So the decision to join each of these companies was always heart led and based on where I see myself going 10 to 20 years from now. And personally, it's been a beautiful, beautiful adventure. And I love to coach other people to do the same with their own careers, with their own North Star, their own life vision. So over the past couple of weeks, I've really been channeling my creative energy, my creative juices into different courses, coaching packages, and containers and landing pages to express it all. So these offerings are for people who are ready and excited to build a vivacious career that they are immensely proud of for years and years to come. So all of my details will be listed in the description box below. So let's dive right in. And I want to start with saying that finances are important, like immensely important. We all know that it's very difficult to live a comfortable life without finances, especially when we think about if you go outside right now and you want to go out to eat, you're going to need money, right? So whether that's your money, whether that's someone else's money, like your partner, your provider, your parents, depending on the stage of life that you're in right now. Money facilitates so many things in our lives, from our relationships. If we want to take people out to eat, like I mentioned previously, take someone out to coffee, you want to network with someone, money is going to be important there. If you want to, enhance your looks, enhance your wardrobe, money is going to be important. So I want to start by saying that wealth does include money because it's very, very important. The Mindful Career Woman says, hey, so nice to see you live again. Hello, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And your support means the world to me. So yeah, money really facilitates a lot of these things in our lives. But what I want to share is that wealth cannot stand on one leg. So if money is the one leg that wealth is standing on, that's a very wobbly chair. One second, let me put the do not disturb on. Okay. So yeah, wealth cannot stand on one leg. Imagine that if a chair had to stand on one leg. I would not sit on that chair. I would just not sit on that chair. I would find another one. So what is the point of money? I also think about it like, if wealth is only about accumulating money, then what do you do outside of that, right? Like, what do you do once you've built the wealth, once you've built that wealth, right? Once you've generated all of that money, what do you do with it? So what is the point of money if you can't use it for something that excites you, if you can't use it for something that leads you to a life that feels really good to you, that leads you to relationships that feel really good to you, that leads you to more increased well-being? What is the point of it, right? And of course, we want a lot of money. We want wealth in regards to money being a big part of it. But there has to be a bigger vision. There has to be a grander desire there behind all of it, because that grander desire is what's going to fuel you in terms of leading towards your life purpose, generating that money, having a beautiful life that has wonderful people around you and that really gets you going in the morning. Because what is it that really gets us moving? It's outside of like doing things that really make us feel good, doing things that are going to drive us towards the life purpose that we have for ourselves, doing things that are going to draw more people to us. So let's dive into the 5 aspects of wealth that I have personally defined for myself when I think of divine feminine abundance, when I think of divine feminine riches. This is what I think about living a good life. And to be clear, I have spent like the majority of my 20s being in a very saving kind of energy, right? Investing in things that investing in building a nest egg. So I was investing in stocks, I was investing into high yield savings accounts. I was also investing into my mind, investing into courses, investing into coaching, investing into learning programs like a coding boot camp that would help me increase my earning potential because I didn't come from a background of a lot of financial abundance. So I wanted to have a steady financial standing so that I can then spend money on the things that were really going to bring lots of excitement into my life. So the first thing I want to talk about is relationships and community. We, like I mentioned earlier, have all heard the maxim that um, your network is your net worth. And to me, that's such a beautiful statement because what that really tells me is that our relationships give us so much more than we could ever really imagine. The relationships of our families, of our friends, the communities that we are a part of, it fuels us. It gives us an energy that really helps us thrive in the way that we view life, in the way that we view ourselves. Because we all know many people who have a ton of money but are unhappy. Why? They're unhappy because they don't feel that there is a larger purpose in their lives. And what I think about is that the relationships I have in my life, like my parents, my siblings, my friends, the women that I'm consistently chatting with in the mastermind groups that I'm with, they give me meaning, they give me purpose because having a symbiotic relationship where they give to me, I give to them, it really helps me flourish. It really helps me understand myself on a deeper level. It helps me understand humanity on a deeper level. It keeps me in a service oriented mindset. And that just feels really, really good. So, this is one aspect of wealth that is really important to myself. And I would imagine it's important to you, especially if you're here on this live with me right now. We are building a relationship as you write to me in the chat, as I respond to you, as we continuously see each other and talk to each other. It's a relationship. We're building a community. And for those of you who are part of other communities along with me, like one of my wonderful mentors, Mina, um, we are all in a community where we get to see each other grow over the years. We get to see each other expand who we are as people, as women. We get to see each other through challenges and really held um, put out a helping hand to each other, because as you climb you lift others with you, and vice versa. As other people climb, they will lift you as well. So relationships and community is just such a beautiful part of our lives and of creating a life of meaning, a life of wealth, a life where we have other people to rely on and we know that other people can rely on us. There's this confidence that comes from having that symbiotic relationship where you can help each other out. The next aspect I would love to talk about is well being. And to me, this one is very important because when I think about all of the jobs that I have had, and like I mentioned, I've worked at some pretty amazing companies that have wonderful cultures that are focused on their people, making sure their people are happy and well taken care of course, for the ultimate purpose of them being productive. But what I have come to understand is how valuable that is, how much of a selling point that is for companies to offer their employees this well-being that they can't have from any old job, right? And it's what keeps people at these companies for many, many, many years because they can find a sense of purpose, but beyond that, on a day to day, they're able to have great food. They're able to have great events that keep them happy and excited and engaged. They're able to have nap rooms where they're able to rest their mind, rest their body, so that they can show up more fueled to the work. So, well being for me is hyper, hyper, hyper important. And when we talk about wealth, let's talk about well-being, wealth and well-being, because our well-being is our vitality, it's our life force, it's what allows us to pour into the relationships that we have. It's what allows us to pour into the communities that we have. Because when we take care of our mind, when we take care of our body, when we take care of our spirit, we are able to provide. So sorry guys for the the interruptions. We've got, let me actually close this, then that should be good. Okay, there we go. So taking care of our body, our mind, and our spirit, it is majorly important when we want to pour into other people, when we want to pour into communities that are important to us. And the ways that I personally like to do that is through different hobbies and activities. So my personal hobbies are things that make me feel good. I love to play tennis. I'm still learning, so I take tennis classes. I love going to the gym. This is a new routine that I have built into my life. I love journaling. Journaling is my absolute number one activity that has been consistent and constant throughout my life for years and years and years, since I was like 10 years old. So that's many years ago. I'm just kidding, not that long ago. And you have to think for yourself, like, what are the hobbies and activities that are going to increase your well-being? What are the hobbies and activities that are going to give you a sense of vitality, a sense of being excited about life? Because this is really how you build a wealthy life. You build in these various aspects of your life that make you feel alive, because you're going to bring that energy, that delicious energy that you are building. You're going to bring that into every aspect of your life, from your relationships to your work, to your business, to your life purpose. And as I mentioned, wealth is a symbiotic relationship. So as you pour into your relationships, those relationships help you make more money. As you make more money, you're able to pour into your hobbies and activities. As you pour into those hobbies and activities, you fill yourself up with delicious energy, and that pours back into your relationships. So it is really a cycle. All of it works together. And it's hard to see it sometimes when we're feeling down. It's hard to see it when we're feeling down in the dumps, when we're feeling like we're in a rut. It's really hard to see how it all works together. But as you start building one by one, like, feel free to choose one hobby, one activity that you're going to start with and you're going to implement into your life. That's how you start building a life that feels really good. And sooner or later, you will see that what you're building in each of those activities, what the way you're feeling, the self-care, the pouring into yourself, the life force energy is going to build a deeper abundance and a deeper resonance in all of the other aspects of your life. For me, when I started implementing these hobbies and activities more consistently, I feel like I exude a lot more confidence. I exude passion. I exude fun because I am having fun. So when you're having fun, you're going to attract more people to you. You're going to attract more opportunities to you. Because isn't that how wealth is built anyways, right? Like, all of these aspects of your life, isn't that how more money comes into your life? Because you are living life, and money is going to be attracted to you because money wants to have fun too, right? Money doesn't just want to sit on a shelf collecting dust. Money wants to be around somebody who is going to fill it up with passion, excitement, confidence, and give it something fun to do, right? So another aspect of well-being that is super important to me, and it's the reason I journal. If I had my journal here, I would show it to you guys. But another aspect of well-being that I feel really is a part of wealth and being wealthy and feeling wealthy is mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. So, in what ways are you helping your mental health? In what ways are you helping your emotional health, your physical health, which we have already spoken about with some of the activities that I mentioned, your spiritual health as well? Because I think one pretty important portion from what I just mentioned, the four things that I just mentioned, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health, is the emotional part and emotional intelligence, because that also pours into the other areas of your life, from your relationships to the way you show up in your work, the way you show up with clients, the way you show up online, if you're doing YouTube, if you're doing videos. When you have a level of emotional health and what I will call emotional wealth, because you have built these structures in your life that help you feel at ease, that help you feel relaxed, that help you feel authentic, that help you feel yourself. You're able to use that energy in so many areas of your life that will help you feel even wealthier, that will help you feel even more magnetic, that will draw people to you, that will draw opportunities to you. So, this delicious energy that you're building from these various aspects of yourself, of your well being, of your self care, is what's going to keep these people and opportunities circulating around you. Another thing I want to mention that I find important, but I feel like it's very tricky to talk about, is beauty in some sense, right? Because one thing that we have seen on Instagram, that we have seen on music videos, that we see in magazines, that we see on TV, is how much importance is placed on beauty. And while I personally do believe that beauty is important and that beauty does draw people and opportunities to you, I think there is a deeper meaning behind beauty. Because, of course, everyone knows beauty is not just skin deep, beauty is internal. Like, someone could be the most beautiful woman in the room, but if she has closed energy, if she has standoffish energy, she's not necessarily going to attract people to her. She's not necessarily going to attract opportunities to her. But if you have a woman who looks however she looks, she shows up like she cares about herself, right? She's polished. She done her hair, she's done her makeup if you're into that. She's dressed well. And it's not that it has to be extravagant, it's that you look like you have put effort into yourself. That is going to draw people to you. It's going to be the initial attraction. But what's even deeper than that? What I just mentioned, the mental health, the emotional health, the physical health, the spiritual health. If you show up in a way that it's very clear that you care about yourself, even on those deepest levels, that is going to attract people to stay, right? So one attracts people to initiate, the other attracts people to remain. Because if we talk about wealth and relationships being wealth, then it's not just about attracting people in one stage and that's it, it's done. No, in order to build this continuance, in order to build lifelong, long term relationships and long term wealth, it's about how do you keep people around you? How do you get people to stay? So, all of this that I just mentioned contributes to how much vitality you feel inside, how excited you are about life. So, the next thing I want to talk about is environment. Where do you spend your time? Where do you live? What do you have in your environment around you? Do you have plants in your home that make you feel alive? Are you a person who really enjoys pops of color? So, does your home have pops of color within it that inspires you? If you're like my cousin's young daughter, she loves plush toys. So like those, I don't know what those are called, but like let's say stuffed animals, but of all types, right? So it could be, I don't know, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, plush toys. I don't know what those are called, but that brings her life, that brings her energy, and so it's exciting to see how she has created this environment that feeds her. And to me, that is wealth. To me, that is true wealth because your energy is what's going to bring all of it, including the money to you. Where do you live? And it doesn't mean you need to live in the most expensive neighborhood, but it needs to be a place that inspires you. It needs to be a place that really elicits these feelings of abundance. And that's something that I personally am in the process of working on because I grew up in New York City, have lived in New York City all of my life, and I've been surrounded by a ton of wealth. I've been surrounded by a ton of money. I've been surrounded by a ton of luxuries going into Manhattan. And so I've seen that, but I haven't necessarily lived in it. I have been in it, but I haven't necessarily lived in it for extended periods of time, right? So I might have lived in a beautiful building here and there, but it's not where I grew up. And so for me, when I think about building wealth for myself and when I think about the environment aspect of wealth, that is majorly important in terms of long term vision. Where do I see myself 10 to 20 years from now? I want to build myself in an environment that feels exciting, that feels inspiring. And so for you, I want you to think about what does your environment look like? One of the things I personally love to do is like have beautiful images on my wall. So I created a vision board 1 to 2 years ago it was like a 5 year vision board. And it's a regular poster, but the edges are gold. And it just feels so luxurious. It just feels so wealthy. It just feels so amazing when I look at it. It inspires me. Those are my dreams in action. And so that's part of my environment. So what I want you guys to think about is what does your environment look like? If you spend a lot of time in your room, what does your room look like? What bedding do you have that really just feels amazing to your skin? What wardrobe do you have? What does your closet look like? When you go into your closet and you look at your clothing, how does it feel to look at those clothing items? How can you build in more feelings of wealth and well being and vitality and energy into your environment? The next thing is creativity. So, to me, creativity keeps you coming up with ideas that build and attract the life that you want and deserve. So, when we talk about the accumulation of money, when we talk about the generation of money, especially if you are a business owner or if you, let's say, for example, work for a company that allows you to have a little bit more autonomy, then creativity comes in handy a ton, right? So, this is a part of wealth because when you're able to use your faculties, all of your mental faculties to create, to be creative, you are going to draw more relationships to you because people want to do work with other people who are inspiring, people who are passionate, people who have something of meaning that they're working towards. So to me, creativity is a major part of wealth. When you are starting up an Airbnb business, for example, and you get creative about the interior design, or you get creative with like the various activities that you have sprinkled around the Airbnb for people to do, like Monopoly board or a puzzle for people to do, or a nice journal for people to write on, that all feels really good. So it's creative and it draws opportunities to you. The next thing I want to talk about is life purpose. So when you are living a life of wealth, I think there is a level of um, vision that is going to be necessary. And that level of vision is going to be what fuels you, propels you forward into the future. And to me, this is all about self awareness. Because when you are aware of who you are right now, when you are aware of what excites you, when you've done some level of exploration, when you've done some level of adventure, you want to oops yeah, if you have some level of adventure, then you have done enough self exploration to really understand who you are and to really understand what you are headed towards, what path you're headed towards, where you're going, what your North Star is. So, this is how you make money, and this is what drives you, right? Because you don't just want to make money in any old way. You want to make money in a way that is aligned with who you are, in a way that is aligned with your life purpose, with your heart's legacy. You want to make money in a way that really, truly excites you, that energizes you, that tantalizes you, that allures you, that entices you and pulls you in. Isn't that so much better than just accumulating money any old which way? Because, if you're able to pick up a skill, any skill, you can do that. But isn't it more exciting to create a life of purpose? I personally love to build my career from the perspective of like, what is the story I'm going to tell at the end of my life? And that helps me make decisions when I'm building my career. Do I want to tell this story or do I want to tell this story? And just having those options to me feels like wealth. Options in that sense feel like wealth. The ability to decide, I want to spend my time this way. I want to invest in this. I would like that. And you have it, right? So having a life purpose to me is such a wealthy energy that you have around you. It keeps you centered, it keeps you aligned with your personal truth. And when you live according to who you are, when you live according to your natural gifts, you will attract money to you. So, lastly, I want to talk about opportunities because to me, this ties it all together. It includes finances, right? So, earlier today, so some of you know that I left my job a couple of months ago. I'm on a mini retirement, what I'm calling a mini retirement, so that I can focus on things I want to learn, ways I stay physically fit, and the businesses that I have in the works. And I woke up this morning and I went on to my investment app. So I checked on my investments. I just wanted to see what was going on. I haven't looked at it in a couple of weeks, which is unusual. And it said that my net worth had increased by like 30K or something like that. I'm like, wow, I haven't checked this app in over a month, probably. And I made money by just the decisions that I made in the past, the opportunities that I took advantage of in the past. And so to me, it's very important to be able to identify opportunities. It's very important to be able to take hold of opportunities and to make them yours. Because to me, that is wealth. Because opportunities come not only in the form of money, what I just described with the app that I opened up, but it also comes in the form of the relationships that you're building, that you're attracting to yourself, the potential projects and ventures that you are able to create, that you're able to bring to life. These are opportunities that are adding more fuel into you, that are giving you that juice, that are giving you that scrumptious energy that you're bringing to everything that you do in your life. And so that is the last thing I want to mention about another aspect of wealth that to me is very exciting, like all of the abundance of opportunities that exist out there. Erica says, do you have an investing course? I would like to learn more about finances. It's funny that you mentioned that because an investing course and just a finance course has been on my mind for a while because in my 20s, throughout my 20s, it's what I focused on almost entirely. Like, how do I build my nest egg, that financial safety net that I didn't have growing up? And so I spent a lot of time really digging into finances and really understanding the various aspects of finances. So that is in the works. That's something that I really want to do. And when I do create it, I'll be sure to share it with you and I'll create a video on it. There are so many courses that I've been like, I want to create a course on that. I want to create a course on that. Now I'm like, wow, there's so many that I want to create. I have to start little by little. So maybe what I'll do is create a sales page for a finance investing course and just leave it on drafts for now, just so that I can keep it top of mind. But yes, that is one of the things that has been on my mind. But you can always feel free to add me on Instagram or send me an email, and we can always have a conversation, a chat about that. So, yeah. So the way I want to end this is by saying that your wealth, everything that I just described, should be the gift that keeps on giving, because that's how I felt this morning when I opened up that app. And the funny thing is that some of those investing opportunities or those stocks that I invested in came from conversations I had with people that were in my life. So you see how relationships and wealth and money, they all, it's an ecosystem. It all goes hand in hand. Like I mentioned earlier, and I want to really end on this note because it's so important. The relationships that you have can increase your financial abundance. Your financial abundance can increase the ways that you invest in your well-being and your vitality and your life force energy. That life force energy can bring you opportunities of projects and interviews that you can do, ideas that you can bring to life, and that will generate more wealth and more money for you, a bigger lifestyle, a better lifestyle. So you can see how it all is integrated. It all goes hand in hand. And that's how I want to end this. Thank you guys so much. Erica, I want to say thank you so much to you for your help in the last live. You were super, super, super helpful. So thank you so much for that. And thank you all for being here with me. I am looking forward to creating more of these videos. It just feels really, really good. So if you haven't subscribed already, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you again soon. So take care, guys. Bye.